Cardinals were one of baseball's hottest teams before being cooled off by the smoke of Kip Wells last night. And nobody is hotter than Brian Giles, batting .632 in the past week. Jack Wilson has caught fire, 8 hits in his last 12 at-bats. Jimmy Anderson has been a hot pitcher on the road, but he's cold at home with a record of 1-4. Baseball sizzles in the Berg. The Bucks host the Cards next.
Good evening from PNC Park on the North Shore. People making their way across to this beautiful yard. The Buccos getting set to take on the St. Louis Cardinals, second of the 3-game series. 7-game homestand for the Pirates. Greg Brown along with Steve Last. Pirates winners last night. They got good news because the Cincinnati Reds were beaten. So, Steve, the Pirates trying to kind of inch their way back toward that top spot in the National League Central Division.
Yeah, maybe it's home cooking because the last 2 road trips really have been miserable, but really a good ball game, a good solid win for the Pirates. They picked up a little ground on just about everybody last night.
And Jimmy Anderson is a guy that would like to pick things up. Steve, he's been a different pitcher on the road as opposed to what he's done here at home. At PNC Park, he has struggled.
Yeah, and I'm not a big believer in road and home stuff for pitchers, but what I do believe in is that Jimmy has found a way to get into a little bit of a groove. 2-1 in his last 3 decisions. He's been pitching much better, so if he can handle this 3 days rest situation, which he should be able to do as a sinker ball pitcher, then you got a chance for another good ball game with a lot of ground balls.
Brian Giles is trying to carry this team almost single-handedly.
He is, and isn't it interesting about this protection in back of him?
Yeah.
When he had protection, well, he has protection now to Ramos Ramirez, but it's not a factor. Ramey's not hitting much of anything, but Giles is absolutely on fire, so there goes that particular theory too. But let's not worry about theories. Let's just keep Brian Giles hot.
All right, the Pirates trying to cool down the St. Louis Cardinals. Jimmy Anderson, as we mentioned, working on 3 days rest, should neutralize a lot of these left-hand hitters of the Redbirds.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Giant Eagle, the official supermarket of the Pittsburgh Pirates. By Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light, cold down easy. By Pennzoil, we're driving protection. And by your Western Pennsylvania Toyota dealers. Toyota, get the feeling.
Welcome back to the North Shore of Pittsburgh. The Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals. Bucks making their way out onto the field, trying to make it 2 in a row over the Redbirds, the second of 17 meetings this season. There's that superstition,
That's magic dust.
Hokey Reese, yep, picks up the dirt as he heads to the field, puts it in his back pocket. A lot of times he has those ground balls in his back pocket. Take a look at the Jeep lineup for the St. Louis Cardinals under Tony La Russa. They're 25 and 22 overall. Fernando Vina is the leadoff man. Then Placido Polanco has crushed Jimmy Anderson in his career. J.D. Drew, the right fielder. Albert Pujols, the cleanup man. Jim Edmonds, 8th in hitting at .329. Edgar Renteria is the shortstop. Tina Martinez over from the Yankees plays first. Eli Marrero is the catcher, and Woody Williams on the mound.
And the PNC scouting report for Jimmy Anderson. Yes, PNC bringing you this scouting report on the Pirate left-hander. He has done very good work his last 3 starts. Better first innings this year. Last year, remember, we used to mention that just about every time Jimmy went out there, it was going to be a struggle in the first inning. He's done better work in the first innings this year. And the 3 days rest, it should help a sinker ball pitcher. The more tired a sinker ball pitcher is, usually the more the ball sinks. So we'll hope that's the case for Jimmy and that he can really build off that great outing against the Cubs last start. 7 scoreless innings in that 12-1 win.
With the win last night, the Pirates gained a game on the second-place Cardinals in the Central, and we're underway with strike 1. Tim Timmons, the home plate umpire. Fernando Vina was 0 for 5 last night. A key for Kip Wells last night was keeping Vina off the bags. Inside.
Yeah, we mustn't read too much into that win other than the fact we should enjoy it and be impressed by Kip Wells. The way you beat the Cardinals these days, you can't stand toe-to-toe with them. They'll outslug you. You've got to outpitch them. Kip Wells did that last night.
Broken bat, right back to Jimmy Anderson. Lob toss on to Kevin Young. Take a look at the Hyundai defense for the Pirates. Left to right, Brian Giles, Chad Hermanson, Rob Makoviak, Aramis Ramirez, and Jack Wilson on the left side of the infield. Pokey Reese and Kevin Young on the right side, with Jason Kendall doing the catching for Jimmy Anderson. Brings up Placido Polanco, who did not start last night against the right-hander Kip Wells. Polanco rounds to Pokey Reese, right in his back pocket. Told you, goes 4-3. Polanco 7 for 14 in his career against Jimmy Anderson. Two ground ball outs.
Is that including that last ground ball?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We are up to date. 7 for 13 going into that program.
Now J.D. Drew. Drew 1 for 3 last night. 7 homers, 22 ribbies on the year. Takes ball 1. Drew had one of the 3 hits against Kip Wells. It was an infield dribbler up the first baseline. Kip Wells and Kevin Young converged on it. Little miscommunication, so Drew was given credit for the hit. Well, they're raving about Kip Wells, and why not? 7-2 in his first 10 Pirate starts. He is in elite company now, is Kip Wells. Kurt Schilling, Randy Johnson, Kaz Ishii of the Dodgers, and Tom Glavine, the only other pitchers to have won at least 7 games this year in the National League. And right after Jimmy Anderson quickly gets 2 ground ball outs, he walks Drew on 4 pitches. And he faces Albert Pujols.
Obviously a different program, a different approach for Cardinal batters against Anderson as compared to Wells. Kept throwing that ball 95, 96, 97 miles an hour. They're going to have to deal with a sinking fastball that usually requires a little more patience, not getting out in front. They don't have to start their swings quite as early tonight.
There goes Drew, and he picked the right time to go. He figured that Anderson wasn't throwing over there. Drew had a liberal lead, and he swipes his 7th.
This is called no contest. He is gone. Jimmy might still have the ball. And there were stolen base concerns last year. It has been addressed. Steals are down against the Pirates. Numbers are down. That one was easy.
7 steals for J.D. Drew in 8 attempts this season as Pujols takes a strike. Lloyd McClendon says, "What's that?" Talking to the home plate umpire, Tim Timmons. Ball and a strike on Jimmy Anderson with 2 outs. And now 2 balls and a strike. Lloyd McClendon was hush-hush today. Reporters met with him in the clubhouse, and give Lloyd McClendon a lot of credit, because he didn't want the information out as to what bugged Brian Boehringer in his displeasure with Jack Wilson, and nobody was telling. So a unified clubhouse in that regard. Chopped left side, foul ball. Lloyd McClendon said, as a matter of fact, he saw Boehringer and Jack Wilson laughing together in the weight room earlier today. So that's forgotten in the past.
Well, you know, a lot of it, there might be some underlying things, but a lot of it is the heat of the battle. They're out there competing, and they got hot during the course of a ball game. Not really a headline. That's not the first time it's happened.
There's Boehringer. The thing that made it unusual was it on the field. It happens in the dugout in the clubhouse. I'm sure, Steve, often, you as a former player, but you just don't see it too often on the field between the lines. That's hit deep to left field. And gone. Oh, was that crushed by Albert Pujols on the 2-2 pitch. He gives the Cardinals a 2-0 lead. Pujols his 8th of the year.
The base on balls. It is a good hitting Cardinal team, and when you give them extra base runners and an extra out, with that walk to J.D. Drew, you're playing with fire, and got burned there. So the first inning improvements for Jimmy Anderson. Now that's a fact, but he gets hurt here in the first. There's a monster home run. Just a matter of whether it was going to hook foul. Really never came close to hooking foul because it got out there so quickly. Didn't have time to hook.
Boy.
That's
Third level of that Van Dyke Business Systems rotunda and left.
shades of his big-time rookie year. It's the stuff he was doing last year.
Ball one on Jim Edmonds, and now time called as Kendall wants to talk to Anderson.
Probably saying, let's throw this guy some strikes. Even if somebody hits the ball out of the ballpark, if you're throwing a bunch of strikes, they can only get runs one at a time. It's those people on the base paths.
Albert Pujols, Rookie of the Year last season, with just a phenomenal campaign. 37 homers, 130 RBIs.
And this is what he was doing last year, too. He's playing all over the place. He was playing left field. He's playing first base, playing third base. He was at third last night. He's in left this evening.
Edmond takes 2-1. 329 average, 8th best in the league. 10th in homers with 11. He's tied for 5th with 34 RBIs. And he has a base hit.
I think Jim Edmonds, when he struggles, it's with the real hard stuff. The fastballs upstairs. He chases a lot of fastballs. He gets to a few of them, a number of them, hits them out of the ballpark, but he also goes upstairs and comes down empty a good bit. But that's the high heat, that 90 to 96 mile an hour stuff. Now, if you are a guy that doesn't throw that hard and get the ball up, well, he's going to have plenty of time to catch up to it.
Edgar Renteria, 1 for 4 last night, 276 average. Edmonds with a couple of steals this season. This is Jimmy Anderson's 5th career start against the Cardinals. He's 2-2, a 4.26 ERA versus St. Louis. Bunting the ball, foul. A lot of teams doing that. Ramos Ramirez still not 100%. Seen a handful of players reach on bunt singles. Tony La Russa, veteran skipper.
Quite a resume for Tony La Russa.
It's 0-2 on Edgar Renteria.
It's one thing to hang around as a major league manager. It's another thing to win a lot. He's done both. The latter is the most important.
His club, the Cardinals teams, have had 3 first-place finishes. Very close play at first.
The race. Now you wonder why he's reaching for that base back that far. Gives Kevin Young a little extra time. But, sometimes you just go for the best angle when you see the glove coming at you. You avoid the glove and catch the base wherever you can.
Ground ball, Jack Wilson. Nice pick there by Wilson to flip to Pokey Reese. Albert Pujols, last year's Rookie of the Year, hits his 8th home run this season, gives the Cardinals the early 2-0 lead. It's the bottom of the first inning. Here is the Dodge Pirates lineup. Bucks are 3 games under 500. Chad Hermanson leads off. Jack Wilson hits second. He's the shortstop with Brian Giles in left, riding a 6-game hitting streak. Ramos Ramirez, the cleanup man. Rob Makoviak in right. Jason Kendall, the catcher. Kevin Young hits 7th at first. Pokey Reese, the 8th man. And Jimmy Anderson pitching.
He'll be lining it up against the veteran right-hander Woody Williams out of Houston, Texas. Missed about a month or so. I don't know what an oblique strain is, so we'll just call it obscure. 35 home runs last year. He has not been touched up by the long ball yet, but he is only working his 4th start has pitched very well against the Pirates.
Strike one on Chad Hermanson.
His 3 previous starts in and around that time on the disabled list, he has not given up more than 1 earned run. That's why he has that 0.64 ERA in his first 3 starts.
Fouled off. 0-2. Walt Jocketty, the general manager of the St. Louis Cardinals, has done just tremendous work over the years, making this club year in and year out very competitive. Of course, he's got a lot of money with which to work, but when he made this deal, getting Woody Williams for the benched Ray Langford, and one time Langford was AWOL, away from the team. Figured you'd have to give him away.
What an acquisition. He was 15-9 overall last year, but he's 7-1 after joining the Cardinals, and 6-0, 5-0 going down the stretch in his last 6 decisions, or 6 starts, 5-0 for the Cardinals, and one tremendous outing in the the postseason against the big unit. He beat Randy Johnson. Great ball game in their first round of playoffs.
9 strikeouts in 7 innings in that ball game. Game 2 of the division series. Count is 3-2 on Chad Hermanson. I asked Lloyd McClendon about Hermanson's walks. He's got 9 of them. He has struck out 15 times. This is his 13th start. 3-2 the count. Woody Williams usually throws a lot of strikes. There's a drive deep to left field. It is hooking. It is a home run for Chad Hermanson on the 3-2 pitch. And it's a 2-1 ball game. Hermanson's 3rd, and again, this is 13th start.
So the Pirates answer in the same neighborhood. Chad Hermanson hitting that ball, and we had to wait and see if that one was going to hook around the corner.
He worked the count to 3-2, and then he rode one out of here.
Up and in, bad spot, not enough heat, and Chad's able to catch up to it.
And the replay, well, he reached that 2nd level of that rotunda. So a couple of bombs by Pujols, Cardinals left fielder, and the Buccos center fielder Chad Hermanson.
So we can put a notch in the belt of Woody Williams to add his home run, the first one of the year. Number 35 last year, so he is very vulnerable in that area. You get up over that 30 number and people start paying attention.
First leadoff home run by a Pirate. It's hard to believe. August 7th, 1999, Al Martin. Wow. This is fouled out of play. I'm going to have to double check that with Jim Ferdinich. But that's instant offense for Chad Hermanson.
Well, we're going to have to mention to Jimmy that you're doubting him.
No. I'm doubting what I heard. Don't doubt that man, Jimmy T.
But that was him reading it, saying it.
Yeah, but a lot of confusion here in the booth, a lot of noise.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That's true. So we won't put the hammer on Jimmy T right now.
give us time.
We got to check his sources and see if we can clear out a lot of this gray area.
2-2 the count on Jack Wilson. Now 3-2. It's been a good 2-week look at Chad Hermanson, and it's at least a reason for optimism. Rounded left side, backhanded by Renteria. He got a nice hop at the end and almost pulls Tino Martinez off the bag with that throw. The rest of the Pepsi Cardinals defense. Placido Polanco is a good one at 3rd. You saw Renteria, Vina at 2nd, Martinez at 1st. It's really a solid infield. Albert Pujols in left, Jim Edmonds a Gold Glover in center, and J.D. Drew in right with Eli Marrero doing the catching.
And Matheny more noted for his defensive abilities. Marrero probably more highly regarded as an offensive player. And switch it up and down. These 2 catchers.
Ball 1. Brian Giles absolutely on fire with the 6-game hitting streak. Has his average up to 306. 2 more hits last night. 12 for 19 during the 6-game streak. With Ramirez on deck. And another line drive at Tino Martinez, who caught a liner off the bat of Giles in the 4th inning last night. Otherwise, Giles would have been 3 for 3.
When you're like that as a batter, they say you're just seeing everything and you're just going up there expecting to hit, not hoping.
Now Ramos Ramirez. He takes a strike.
You know, I don't know what the Aflac trivia question is tonight, but I would add this to it if we don't have one. Whatever happened to the pine tar rule on bats? See, some of these bats are way up over the trademark, where you used to see the Louisville Slugger logo or whatever brand. Now, see, they get away with it on the black bats. You can't see it, but on the other bats, I'm seeing pine tar way up there. Not that it's a big deal, just one more thing that hitters can do.
Appeal. First base umpire Steve Ripley says he did not go.
See, they don't let the pitchers use pine tar at all.
Unfair.
Sure.
One and two now on Ramos Ramirez.
Plus, they should have a mound in the batter's box where those guys got to swing and step down at the same time.
Adjust their glove.
Yeah, so they have to step down off a hill like pitchers have to step down when they release the ball.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Did he hold it? No, the home plate umpire said he went, much to the dismay of Ramos Ramirez. Leadoff home run by Chad Hermanson gets the Buccos on the board against Woody Williams. Number 3 for Hermanson, and this is his 13th start. It's a 2-1 game. Folks walking up to the ticket windows here at PNC Park. Game 3 of the series tomorrow afternoon, and then 4 games with Sammy Sosa and the Cubs. Ball 1 on Tino Martinez.
These guys aren't concerned about tickets. They already got their tickets and they're into the next phase. It works.
Ball and a strike. Pulled foul. Tino Martinez starting to come around at the plate. His first year in the National League. Fights that one off. Mentioned that you'd hope that with the southpaw Jimmy Anderson going, that he would neutralize some of the Cardinals batters. Here is their starting 8. You look what they've done against lefties, righties.
Pretty substantial numbers on that side.
Ground ball. Okie Reese goes on to first. Tino Martinez is retired. Brings up Eli Marrero. Join Brent Stover right after the game for Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. Steelers' Troy Edwards wants some attention from the media, and Pittsburgh Sports Tonight is going to give it to him. Chad Hermanson is trying to stick in the majors this time around. We'll see what he's thinking since his call-up. And the high school baseball playoffs continues. They're all over the era covering them. That and more after the game. Pittsburgh Sports Tonight.
Maybe they'll have to update that piece on Chad.
Yeah.
You think catchers can't run? Eli Marrero is 6-0. Stolen base category. 6 steals. He has not been caught this year.
Play there by Kevin Young on the low throw. Eli Marrero retired 5-3, 2 up, 2 down.
Well, this is how it started in the first inning. I just got to clean this up. Woody Williams, not a bad hitting pitcher over his career. He's done some pretty decent work. He first came to the big leagues with Toronto. We're heading over to San Diego.
And out of high school and in his college years was a shortstop, and a good one.
University of Houston.
All region shortstop there. And really, the Toronto Blue Jays, the only club that going to give him a true shot at pitching. Braves talked about drafting him maybe as a catcher. Okie Reese ranging to his right, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jimmy Anderson. Much better. And now we go to the bottom of the second inning. St. Louis leads Pittsburgh 2-1. St. Louis leads Pittsburgh. Rob Makoviak to lead off the bottom of the second against Woody Williams. George Holmes of Aliquippa, PA, is our Giant Eagle home run hitters contestant. Makoviak hitting his sixth of the season last night. Came off Garrett Stevenson deep into the night. Makoviak now with homers in consecutive games for the first time in his major league career, and it's a career that began last year as a rookie. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Pirates right fielder Rob Makoviak.
Whenever I look at him, I can't get the number 53 out of my mind. 53rd round draft choice.
Still amazing, isn't it? Two and one. Bill Brick, then Pirate scout, now with the Padres, signed Rob Makoviak out of Oak Lawn, Illinois, playing junior college ball in the Chicago area. He laughs when you ask him, what did Bill Brick give you as a signing bonus? Well, after I was drafted, he took me to the local Subway shop, and I said, I'll buy. And Bill said, no, this is on me.
And the organization.
he expensed it. 3-2 on Makoviak.
Well, when we play teams and Rob plays and he goes 0 for 4, doesn't have a good game, you never hear questions. But when he has a good game or does something outstanding, all the other announcers, hey, what about that Makowack attack?
Yeah. Makowack.
Makowack. And there were questions about Makowack last night with that whack he hit.
Strikes out against Williams, leading off the second. Tomorrow, Kids Magic Baseball Day. The Bucks hosting these Cardinals. Concluding game of the series, 1:35. All kids 12 and under get a Kids Magic Baseball from Giant Eagle. For tickets, a toll-free number to call, 877-893-BUCKS. 877-893-BUCS. Kids Magic Baseball. Shake it and find out what's going to happen in your fantasy game, or play along as you're watching. 0-1 the count on Jason Kendall. A .438 career hitter against Woody Williams is Kendall. He whacks one toward right center field, and it's going to be caught. Boy, Jim Edmonds looked as though he was cutting across and not getting a good angle on it, but Jim Edmonds is a Gold Glover for a reason.
Yep, he chased down that early mistake in judgment. He cut a short angle and then gave ground and ran it down.
Jim Edmonds, another look. Sports Illustrated last month did a poll of all the major league managers listing baseball's top 5 defensive center fielders. 27 of the 30 managers in the big leagues responded. The top 5: Andrew Jones of the Braves, Torrey Hunter of the Twins, Mike Cameron of the Mariners, Ken Griffey Jr. of the Reds, and Jim Edmonds. Good arm, great first step, and really knows how to play the hitters. One of the comments about Jim Edmonds, the Gold Glover.
He's one of the best. He would probably change his first step on that particular play, but he has the ability and the talent to run it down, and he did.
Broken bat, roller to third. Woody Williams enjoys a 1-2-3 bottom of the second inning. Here at PNC Park, the Pirates trail the Cardinals 2-1. Coming up, Fernando Vina, the leadoff man, against Jimmy Anderson.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Dodge. Get somewhere. Grab life by the horns. Dodge. And by UPMC. Choose your health care as if your life depended on it.
Welcome back. The Allegheny River. Pirates baseball against the St. Louis Cardinals. Fernando Vina leads off. Broken bat bouncer back to Jimmy Anderson in his first at bat. A 2-out walk and an Albert Pujols home run gave the Redbirds the 2-0 lead. Vina bunts it. Jimmy Anderson, pretty good fielding pitcher, almost stumbles and throws it off. But boy, what a play by Kevin Young. He was handcuffed.
Man, that's like facing a firing squad at 10 feet.
How about that? This is a play that Kevin Young almost makes look routine. That is a tough one.
Yep. Jimmy, if he had another chance, would flip that underhanded to Kevin instead of giving him about a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, for the equivalent of that from that distance. Nice job by KY at first base. That could be a protection play in a lot of ways.
Ball one on Placido Polanco. In December, Tony La Russa had said that he was going to make Pujols his regular third baseman, but then spring training he changed his mind for the better of the club, and because he was concerned that if he had made, as this one is hit into center field, oh my, all the way past Chad Hermanson, and this might be an inside the park homer. No, Hermanson's going to get to it quickly enough. It will be a triple for Polanco as Hermanson tried to make the diving grab late.
Yeah, and Chad usually gets a pretty good jump on the ball. I don't think he got a particularly good jump there, and then he tried the recovery program and the race was on. Well, the Pirates will bring the infield in to try to cut this off, and well, what a challenge for Jimmy Anderson now. Man on third base, and you're looking down the barrel at Drew, Pujols, Edmonds. Tough assignment.
With one out, popped them up. Pokey Reese. One big out for Jimmy Anderson.
That is huge. Now there might be a serious candidate for a protection play. I'm going to put a little circle around that for key, and we hope we can come back to it and refer to it as a key element in a Pirate win.
We showed you a graphic earlier about what some of these Cardinals are doing versus lefties as opposed to righties. We've corrected it, and you'll take a look. Actually, they fare much better against righties. The batter now, Pujols, hitting .205 versus southpaws.
Yeah, we got the columns straightened out now. Might be thinking, well, with 2 outs, why don't you walk Pujols and take your chances with left-hand hitting Jim Edmonds against lefty Jimmy Anderson? Well, this team is so explosive, you really got to be careful with people you put on base and extra base runners and how many chances you give them.
Strike at the knees, 1 and 2.
Yeah, if Jimmy can get that call all night, he's going to be heading toward the finish line.
A major lift for Anderson and the Pirates to get Pujols and leave that man at third. The 1-2 pitch coming from Jimmy Anderson to Albert Pujols. Ground ball, shortstop, deep. Wilson's throw, and he got him as Pujols tried to slide in to first base. Jack Wilson throws across the diamond, and Jimmy Anderson does indeed keep that man from scoring. 2-1 St. Louis.
Yeah, the Pennzoil protection play. Actually, it's a double play because the runner on third base, one out. Here's the first out in that double play. The pop up by Drew, and then the nice play by Jack Wilson deep in the hole at short, the throw, and Pirates leave Polanco at third base. We're driving protection.
Well, it was unusual. You don't see many batter runners slide feet first into first base. A lot of times you'll see head first dives into the bag in desperation. 0-2 the count on Pokey Reese.
It looked awkward too. That's a little risky business about turning an ankle. Those bases don't give. They're anchored.
1-2.
Not like when we were growing up on the back of the barn and the bases were made of cow chips.
Yeah.
I mean, those you hit those bases,
fly.
Well, they either fly if they're old or you get stuck in them.
One and two on Pokey Reese. Reese, a 385 lifetime hitter against Woody Williams. Two balls, two strikes.
I told you about the finish that Woody Williams had at the end of the year. August 2nd, he came to the Cardinals. From that point on, he was 7-1, 4-0 in September, which gave him Pitcher of the Month honors in the National League. But on September 5th, against San Diego, his former team, he faced 27 batters. Complete game two-hitter. Got a double play, and I don't know about the other man.
A base hit. Leadoff single for Pokey Reese.
Nice at bat after falling
Yeah.
behind 0-2. Give Jimmy a chance to move him over.
It's the Best Damn Sports Show, period, with host Chris Rose, Tom Arnold, and a bunch of ex-jocks. The only show that gives you sports comedy, commentary, scores, and highlights. Kick back, relax, enjoy the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Weeknights at 8 and 11, only on Fox Sports Net. Come on, Lisa. There you go. Jimmy Anderson going to try and bunt the runner to second. Stabs at it and misses.
Lloyd McClendon has a little option program here. Jimmy does handle the bat pretty well. If they really take everything away from him, and by that I mean they come in really camp on top of him to take the bunt away, well, you can have him chop away or swing away. Can't do that with every pitcher, but that option is open, although it is a conventional butt situation.
And a strike is called, 0-2, and now you might see with two strikes Lloyd McClendon have Jimmy Anderson swing away. Trent Jewett relays the signs as he sees them from the bench, and Tony La Russa will relay what he wants to do to his defense.
Yeah, for a guy who handles the bat pretty well, and Jimmy really does, he does not have a sacrifice bunt to his credit yet this year.
Had 6 last season.
Now these are the kind of deals that will make a manager crazy. Tony La Russa is out in front. His team is out in front. His pitcher is out in front, 0-2. So Jimmy can't get the bunt down. Now, if his pitcher gives up a base hit, that's the kind of things that drive managers crazy.
Saw Anderson was not showing bunt the last pitch. Third baseman Polanco still in on the grass. Martinez holding the runner, swinging away, and a strikeout. Now, if you're Lloyd McClendon, you want to get that man to second. Pokey Reese has the good speed. Eli Marrero 1 for 9 in throwing out base runners this season.
Chad Hermanson swings and misses a lot. Let the games begin.
3 strikeouts now for Woody Williams. Pokey Reese says, hold on a minute, let me get some dirt.
Some magic dust on that side.
Hermanson, the home run on a 3-2 pitch in the first inning. Takes a ball. By the way, it was the first leadoff homer by a Pirate in Pittsburgh since August of 1999. Al Martin, the last Pirate to hit a leadoff home run in the Bird. That's the first of PNC Park history.
That clarified. By the way, Al Martin went to spring training, did he not, as a non-roster player for the Cardinals?
Yeah, refused assignment to their minor leagues in Memphis. Runner goes, got a good jump. The throw will not get Pokey Reese.
Good call, Greg.
Just his second steal.
Now we got rosin in the back pocket. We got dirt down the front of the pants. Oh, Pokey will get himself squared away. Probably weighs an extra 5 pounds by now. Not by much, but you don't have to be safe by much. Just have to be safe.
A pickoff attempt.
You try to get him on each side of the bag.
Pokey is all over the place now. There it is. Pokey Reese loves this game, doesn't he? Enthusiastic ball player. Hermanson now ahead of the count 3-0, and Woody Williams does not walk many. He in fact has allowed just 4 free tickets so far this season in 17 innings.
Missed that month or so of the season after his first start in April. Back in there.
4-pitch walk.
He was part of that group of pitchers that had all the physical problems early part of the year that the Cardinals were trying to overcome, and they really did by not getting buried in their division.
If you'd like to contact any of the announcers or the production team in the truck with your questions or comments during a Pirates telecast, all you have to do is log on to foxsports.com on Lycos, keyword Pirates booth. Try to respond to a few of the selected messages, time permitting. foxsports.com on Lycos, keyword Pirates booth. First and second for Jack Wilson with 1 out. Wilson grounded to short in his first at bat against Woody Williams. Wilson 8 hits in his last 13 at bats. A one-time prospect in the St. Louis organization. Jack Wilson acquired July of 2000 for Jason Christensen. Takes a strike.
Oh, we have not heard much from Jason Christensen since he departed. He's been hurt.
He's had
Hurt a
some
good
injuries,
bit.
yeah. Now with San Francisco. Oh, 0-1 on Jack Wilson. His double play partner is in scoring position. And another try, and this time they get Pokey Reese. Williams and Vina working beautifully in concert to pick off Reese.
Well, they were working on him. This one not close. Takes the Pirates, for the time being, out of a scoring opportunity.
0-1 on Jack Wilson. Now they'll pay attention to Chad Hermanson.
Yeah, worked at second. Maybe he can work at first.
Woody Williams had surgery a couple of years ago on an aneurysm under his right armpit. Successful surgery in May of 2000. Oh, and 1 the count. Strike is called.
not the power numbers that Brian Giles is putting up, but Jack Wilson with a hot bat. Although he powered a ball that almost got out of here to left center field last night. Big shot to the Cardinal bullpen.
Count 0-2 on Jack Wilson with Hermanson at first. Pirates trail by a run in the third inning. Ball and 2 strikes. Three runs scored for Jack Wilson last night.
Three hits, 3 runs, and a confrontation.
Fly ball to center, Edmonds. Broncos had something going early, and that died through 3 innings. St. Louis up by a run. Pirates baseball coming your way exclusively on Fox Sports Net. 2-1 St. Louis. Time for the Aflac trivia question. In 1990, what Cardinals set a single season record for fewest errors by a second baseman, committing only 3? Who was the Cardinals starting second baseman in 1990? Edmonds takes a strike.
Trying to think of who they had last year. 1990.
Edmonds. Smokey Reese had him played perfectly. 1 out in the 4th brings up Edgar Renteria.
I've made my guess. I'm sticking with it.
Strike is called. You've shown it to me, and I can't argue. It sounds like a good one.
He's not got a chance.
I don't know the answer.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
Okay.
Chopper left side. Ramirez in. Goes across. And a ground ball coming more often now from Jimmy Anderson. Checking out the UPMC injury update. A couple of pitchers out earlier again. Ryan Vogelsong and Josias Manzanillo.
Yeah, Manzi's smiling more because he's only on the 15-day list. The other guy's 60.
Here they are after completing some work. One of Manzi's children there on hand. And Mike Sandoval, one of the assistant trainers. Tino Martinez takes a strike. He grounded out his first at bat against Jimmy Anderson. Martinez taking over for Mark McGuire. Mark McGuire is now 6th on the all-time home run list. He dropped today to 6th. Barry Bonds hit his 584th career home run today. He's now 2 away from Frank Robinson for 4th on the all-time list. A 6-3 loss in that ball game. The San Francisco Giants lost to the Colorado Rockies. 17th on the year for Bonds. And 3 ground ball outs for Jimmy Anderson. On a bit of a roll as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's still 2-1 Redbirds. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Brian Giles will lead off. Giles, Ramirez, Makoviak. The Aflac trivia question. Again, 1990, what Cardinals set a single season record? Fewest errors by a second baseman, committing only 3. Steve guessing. Oh,
I was going to write it down.
That's what you meant to say.
Look it. I was starting to write
yep.
it down, and I said, no, he didn't go
Or
back
Jose
that far.
Oquendo. Yep.
I'm in her.
Good guess, though, Steven. You've always said that Jose Oquendo was a secret weapon, and you're right.
He was the secret to that. Well, here we go.
A regular feature, which I think drives people at home nuts when they watch this. They're so sick of seeing us get this food. I don't blame them. But thanks to Carl Middleman, he is just tremendous for giving us a flavor of PNC Park. Carl Middleman of Aramark bringing us another pizza from Vincent's, and he also brought us the menu.
Yeah. Well, we'll have another. Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Vincent's at PNC Park. Inside to Brian Giles.
Tough place to start a diet, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I won't.
Where diets go to die. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Giles. He lined out to first baseman Tino Martinez. Woody Williams with the Blue Jays, Padres, and now the Cardinals. Big breaking ball. That is smoke to left, but right there is going to be Pujols.
2 balls hit right on the button by Brian Giles. The line drive to Martinez, and then he goes the other way and finds Pujols and his glove in left field. The good at-bats continue. And here is one we need to get going.
Yeah.
Ramos Ramirez has been struggling since being activated off the disabled list. And there comes a point with position players and pitchers when you are coming off an injury and coming off the disabled list. How much time are you given before you have to really start getting it going? And rightfully so. They'll say players coming off the DL, especially early in the year, kind of like a spring training experience. When you come back, live pitching that you face or live hitters that you have to pitch against.
The Pirates didn't
There's
feel,
only so long that goes on.
Yeah, the Pirates didn't feel like it was necessary for Ramos Ramirez to go on a rehab assignment. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. A lot of players, after missing that much time, will go down to the minor leagues and get a lot of at-bats and get that stroke back. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Ramirez. And you can understand it with the Pirates offense struggling, why they'd want to get that bat back so quickly.
And you know, he really proved himself last year, so it's not so much a question of can he come back and do that. It's just a matter of when. He certainly has those abilities, and they all came to shine last year. But it's time.
Kendall in the hole, as they say, as Ramirez hits this one. A diving stop by Edgar Renteria. Goes out of Ramos Ramirez. 6'3", who gets booed because of his walk to first base. Fans cascading around Ramos Ramirez with the boos. Lloyd McClendon said that Ramirez still not 100%. And apparently, because of that ankle, he's not able to go full speed down the line. And you heard it from the crowd here. Rob Makoviak struck out.
Woody Williams, who has only given up a run or less in his 3 starts, one of them he gave up no runs. Looks like he's getting on track here in the middle part of the ball game.
He's the kind of pitcher, last couple of years, it's shown if you don't get to him early, it does get tougher.
You know, last time out against Cincinnati, 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs at all. The start before that against the Cubs, 1 unearned run in 6 innings. He's pretty much picking up where he left off last year. I think he has won his last 6 decisions going back to last year, so he continues to be on that roll, even though he's had a little physical setback along the way.
Steve mentioned that strained muscle on his left side. Woody Williams said, I thought that was fat in that area. I didn't know you could pull fat. 3-2 the count on Makoviak.
Kind of refreshing that he says that instead of, well, my finely chiseled body just had a blowout.
Yeah, you talk to any of his teammates, they just rave about Woody Williams. Strike 3 called on Rob Makoviak. That's the 4th K for Woody Williams. And the Bucks go down in order through 4 innings. 2-1 St. Louis. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Bucks who trail the Cardinals 2-1 through 4 innings. Both Anderson and Williams getting into a groove. Who is that young man next to Bob Veal?
That's before a lot of pizza.
Ball 1 and Eli Marrero.
Baseball cards scattered around different parts of this ballpark, different Pirates of the past.
And would you know what year that is, Steve?
That is very early. That's a 1964 card.
Because I know you guys all continually get cards in the mail for people to sign through the years, and you must.
Well, what I do is I take a lot of them on the road and send them to myself. And I sign them all and return them. Yeah, it's fun. You see the ones, and you know all the range of the ones you had. The current guys that get bubblegum cards from different companies. I mean, they can have 20, 30 different cards if you've been in the big leagues 3 or 4 years. Ball fouled away. Our cards were all from Topps. You signed a contract and you went to New York and you got a suit of clothes for that.
Well, again tomorrow, big day for the kids. The Dodge Kids Fun Zone on Federal Street from 11 a.m. to 1:35 p.m. Come out and meet SpongeBob SquarePants. For tickets, call 877-893-BUCKS or visit PittsburghPirates.com or come down to PNC Park in the ticket office. Toll free 877-893-BUCKS. There he is. There's SpongeBob.
That's the first time I've seen a picture of old Robert.
Steve and I will be out there tomorrow at the Kids Fun Zone on Federal Street to meet SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah, you must have. You don't have to have a guardian, but you're going to be my guardian, right?
All right.
You'll guide me through all that.
Yep. Fans camping out already. Oh. Bob walk signs. Two and two on Eli Marrero. Still 2-2.
Remember several years ago there? Well, there's Robert. You get equal time.
Yeah.
It's the Bob Walk section of PNC Park. That's what they ought to name one, the Bob Walkway.
Yeah. Ripped foul out of play.
And Aerosmith could do a song, Walk This Way. All kind of possibilities.
There he is. That's not SpongeBob SquarePants. That's Bob Walk. Fly ball to right. Koviak back. One down brings up the pitcher, Woody Williams. Join Brent Stover right after the game. Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. Steelers Troy Edwards wanting some attention from the media, and Pittsburgh Sports Tonight is going to give him some. Chad Hermanson trying to stick in the majors this time around, and they will see what he's thinking since his call up. And high school baseball playoffs continue. Coverage continues on Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. There's Franco Harris next to Pirates general manager Dave Littlefield. Franco has made a couple of trips into PNC Park and sat next to the GM. Football background for Dave Littlefield at the University of Maine. 2 balls and a strike. University of Massachusetts. This is fouled, grounded to the left side, and Ramos Ramirez on the run gets Woody Williams 5-3. Another ground ball out for Jimmy Anderson.
I guess we could bring in Ron Vallone and take him up there. They could all talk a lot of football.
That's right. The Pirates left-hander also has that football background.
UMass is a all Yankee conference.
Dave Littlefield was a linebacker at UMass. Two outs, Fernando Vina. He has bounced back to the mound twice. And a ground ball up the middle, a base hit. Vina has his first hit, and this is 8th at bat in the series. To keep an eye on him. He has 7 steals. He's been caught 5 times. Polanco, 8 hits now and 15 career at bats against Jimmy Anderson. He tripled his last time up.
Yeah, the Cardinals would have no problem having Polanco lead off should Vina try it and not succeed. Sometimes that justifies the risk.
And there he goes. He got a great jump. He was walking. His first 4 or 5 steps just walking towards second base.
Same thing that happened with Drew. He just took off early, guessing that Jimmy wasn't coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps before Jimmy released the ball. So to do that, you have to take your chances. And if you guess right, you get that easy stroll into second base. Drew did it, and now Vina does it.
Talk about Jimmy Anderson doing a better job this season than he has against the running game. Jason Kendall going to go out to talk to him at the count of 1-1. Take a look at Fernando Vina. His approach, that the first baseman of the Pirates off the bag. Look at Vina. He looks over the right shoulder.
Kevin trying to stand up tall, block his vision.
That's the 8th steal this season against Jimmy Anderson. Twice the opposition has been caught. Last year, 33 steals against Jimmy Anderson with just 4 caught stealings. 2-1. Talked to Tony La Russa before the game on the radio side, the pregame, about the advanced scout that he has and the advantage that La Russa and the Cardinals have when they come to Pittsburgh. Not one of the best, and in La Russa's mind, the very best, in Jim Leland. You won't get past much on La Russa and the Cardinals because Leland is here every night and he knows about every nuance of this Pirates team. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's just not based on a series either. As you take a look at the Humperdinck, former Pirate manager.
Pretty good resource to have right there for Tony La Russa.
A lot of advanced scouts will come in for one series beforehand. Jimmy, by being here every night, can see patterns emerge and different tendencies.
Now a full count. Obviously, Jim Leland and Tony La Russa spent years together in the White Sox. La Russa was managing that club. Leland, his third base coach. They've been friends for so long. Leland hired after he left the Rockies. That's an advanced scout for Walt Jocketty. He reports directly to the general manager, Walt Jocketty. 3-2 the count on Polanco. Runner goes for third. He'll make it without a throw. Standing. Ball 4. Runners at the corners.
Second walk given up by Jimmy Anderson, and after 2 quick outs again, as was the case in the first inning, he's going to have to face the big boys, or at least one of them. Let's hope that's the case.
A 2-1 game. Jimmy Anderson walking a bit of a tightrope here, getting the first 2 outs, but giving up the hit to Vigna. A stolen base, a walk and a stolen base. Ball 1 on Drew.
Play J.D. Drew pretty honest in the Pirate outfield. Chad Hermanson maybe over a step or 2 toward right center, but pretty conventional defensive alignment.
J.D. Drew was picked by the Phillies in the first round of the 1997 draft. He was the 2nd pick overall that year, but refused to sign. The Phillies were not able to meet his demands, so he played that 97 season and part of the 1998 campaign with an independent league club. Go to first, runner back. Cardinals selected J.D. Drew in the first round of the June 98 draft. He was the 5th pick overall that season. Grounds it sharply foul. It's 1-2.
Pirate fans get to see Josh Fogg up close and personal again tomorrow afternoon. Sam Tachi is the starter for St. Louis, last game of this series. Josh Fogg is 5-2. An unusual outing for him in Chicago. Really was in control of a ball game. One bad pitch to Sammy Sosa, 3-run shot. That was pretty much all she wrote in that game.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2-2. Albert Pujols on deck. He had a 2-run bomb in the first inning off Jimmy Anderson.
And also smoked the ball to deep short. Jack Wilson made a nice play onto Strand Placido Polanco after his triple in the third.
Grounded to Pokey Reese. Little bobble, but handled. And the Cardinals strand a couple as Jimmy Anderson averts disaster in the 5th. Still a 1-run game going to the bottom of the 5th inning. That's a mess right there, Steve.
Yep.
Nightly pizza delivery here in the booth. Vincent's here at PNC Park. Thanks to Carl Middleman of Aramark and the guys. Alice Crisco of Oakdale, Giant Eagle contestant. Kendall takes a strike. Kendall had a drive to right center field that Edmonds tracked down. Grounded second, Vigna. 1 out in the 5th. It's another full weekend of racing across the Fox networks, continuing tomorrow, starting with NASCAR this morning, presented by Smirnoff Ice on Fox Sports Net. Then go racing under the lights with the Coca-Cola Racing Family 600 on Fox. The Fox networks, your home for NASCAR. Called on Kevin Young. Broken bat roller to third. His first time to the plate against Woody Williams.
Pirates need to get a little something going. It's getting a little late in the program. The leadoff home run by Hermanson seems like it's quite a while ago, and it was accurate. The closer for the St. Louis Cardinals, Jason Isringhausen. Remember, he was a phenom of the New York Mets 1,000 years ago. He has a dozen saves.
Ask Tony La Russa what the big difference of this year's club as opposed to last season's team. And he will say Jason Isringhausen. As Kevin Young goes down on strikes, 5 Ks for Woody Williams.
And he is clean right now. I mean, he's throwing the ball the way he wants it, where he wants it. That's called command.
Just 2 hits, one of them by Pokey Reese leading off the third, the other the Chad Hermanson home run in the first. Two outs, nothing on. In the 5th inning, Pirates trailing by a run. Strike on Pokey Reese.
Yep, he's got that look and the body language and the whole package now. And the Pirates are going to have to work real hard to get something going against Woody Williams. He is grooving.
Now, Williams not happy the time was called.
No, nor he should be. You know, that, among other things, that's the way a pitcher can hurt himself, trying to shut down the body, trying to exert itself like that coming toward home plate. It should be illegal.
It is, according to the rule book. Strike 3 called. 6 Ks for Woody Williams. Pokey Reese discussing that call from Tim Timmons. 2-1 St. Louis.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Chrysler. Drive equals love. And by Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh's PNC Park, where the Pirates trail 2-1 beginning the 6th inning. Albert Pujols will lead off against Jimmy Anderson. He has homered and grounded to deep short. We're thrilled to have back with us. We talked to him last year a couple of times. Renowned baseball author Curt Smith, who has made his way down from Buffalo. Curt, great to see you. And you've got this new book out that you have edited along with the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Steve, we had such a great time talking to Curt about his ballpark book out last year. And this is a really nice item.
Yep. It'll look good on the coffee table and look even better when you open it up, right, Curt?
All one.
Yes, on the option that people will want to read. That's exactly the case.
What baseball means to me, Curt.
An official book of the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown.
So they sanction their
they
publications.
have endorsed and sanctioned, and in fact, in this 288-page book are probably 250 photos that I personally called a day after day of looking at photos in the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown.
Hit hard over the head of the second baseman, Pokey Reese. Albert Pujols, a leadoff single into right center.
He hits every ball hard.
Well, in fact, yes. And he could have been playing second for the Boston Red Sox.
Pujols.
That's right. They had talked last year about perhaps some trades. The Cardinals are obviously glad that he's still in St. Louis.
Yeah.
But you know, it's interesting. The Hall of Fame has easily the most massive archives of any structure in the world when it comes to baseball. Thousands of photos that you can look at. And in fact, I took copies of those, sent them to the publisher Time Warner.
Jim Edmonds with runner at first, and Edmonds calls time.
Now, you have been on tour with enough books and enough broadcast booths to know the hesitation when the pitch is on the way.
Well, I hope so by now, at least. If I don't, I should switch to roller derby, where you don't have to worry about that.
You've made a lot of stops, really.
Yes, that's right.
Good touring for you.
Yeah, in fact, the book was released, What Baseball Means to Me, about 2.5 weeks ago. It's an official Book of the Month Club selection, Literary Guild, and also History Book Club. And I have been to Los Angeles earlier this week. I'm going to be in Toronto, back here, in fact, next week, and also in Cleveland and Detroit, and Washington and New York in June. So as they say, it comes with the territory.
Well, that's great. I know you've have or will visit the Cardinals booth, and
Yes.
next week the Cubs folks are coming in, so you're able to.
But it's great to be back here because I went to school at Allegheny College in Meadville, the immortal Diamond Park. Of course, when I went to school, we didn't know that it was the home of Sharon Stone. We have learned that
You do
since
now.
then.
You
We
better
knew it
believe
was
you
the
know
home
it
of
now.
Dad's Dog Food and Talon Zipper Company.
There you go.
Poor substitutes, if I may say.
Not very perceptive on your part, sir.
Well, only she was a she was a teenager at
Yeah.
that point. Of course, we didn't know.
But their
Oh,
scouting
we only
reports.
had.
Yeah.
Yes, her scouting report was not yet complete.
Well, you've got quite a cross-section of people that we see even on the cover of the book.
This is an amazing book. A celebration of our national pastime. 172 household names, celebrities from across the country. The largest collection ever to write about baseball in one book.
I hope we get a chance to ask you about a couple of these names in and around these Cardinal hits.
First and second, Jim Edmonds with a base hit.
I guess it's rather inconsiderate of them to be interrupting us this way.
Yeah, we could have maybe a trip to the pitcher's mound, but that wouldn't be in the Pirates' best
Well, if
interest.
it were any other Saturday, we'd have a rain delay
Yeah,
at this
that's
point.
right.
Oh,
so-
where were you when we needed you every other weekend of the season?
Well, it was raining in upstate New York as I drove down today and say, well, here we go again. But
Perfect.
it's a lovely night, and what a spectacular ballpark. I was thinking, Steve, that maybe we should go back and replay the 1971 World Series. Same result, but only this time in Camden Yards and PNC Park, because I have literally seen every ballpark in the majors as I was writing my book on ballparks this year. Camden Yards and this one are the best of the new old ballparks. No question about it.
It's a wonderful endorsement.
Sure
'cause,
is.
Yeah, you've studied each and every one of them.
I mean, what a view in the backdrop.
Runners go. Diving try off the glove of Young. Don't know if Reese would have had a play at first base, but now the bases are loaded as Tony La Russa sent the runners, and all Young could do was knock it down. An infield hit for Renteria.
Well, one of the things Tony La Russa had going there is a whole lot of movement. Everybody was moving. His runners were moving. That created movement by the defense, and many times you'll get that kind of a result.
He was playing Whitey ball after Whitey Herzog.
Get ready. This guy has 9 career grand slams. Anderson wants a double play.
Very brisk activity in the Pirate bullpen right now.
Tino Martinez with the bases loaded, no one out, middle infield at double play depth. It's ball 1 on the first baseman of the Cardinals.
Martinez, of course, a classic pull hitter. It's interesting because those two gargantuan shots we had earlier in the game, 445 feet, one of them, had that been pulled to right, it would have been floating in the Allegheny River.
Yeah.
I had a river shot. Now we will get a visit to the mound by Spin Williams. Joe Bynum loosens up. I've got to ask you about
Yes.
one of my favorite guys, Dave Barry. I just love him.
Dave Barry, the great humorist, Pulitzer Prize winning, in fact, for the Miami Herald, one of 172 household names to write in this book. We've got President Bush, former President Carter. We've got Ted Williams, Rudy Giuliani with a 2,000-word original essay on the history of baseball in New York. He does not, of course, dwell in the 1960 World Series. That didn't come out as he had planned.
Or should he?
But it's fascinating because these are the best-known people. They are busy people. They weren't offered any money for this project. What they did was take time out from their busy jobs, go to the yellow legal pads, go to their computer, and literally put down in pen why they so love the game. It's an amazing book. But Dave Barry, fascinating story after this.
Spin Williams was out to talk to Jimmy Anderson, a count of 1-0, and that is ripped foul.
And he did pull that. Dave Barry talking about, and this is one of the great things in the book, the umbilical cord, the affinity, the kinship of memory. We're all young when we think of baseball. And I mean, it's like it makes Dorian Gray of us all. We could be 58 when we're thinking of the game we're 8. Dave Barry writes about when he was 10 years old playing right field in Little League.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. Popped him up. Kendall didn't know where it was. Doesn't matter. It's out of play.
Barry writes about right field Little League and his great abiding hope, his mission to the Almighty, his communion with God was that no one would hit the ball to him. Please, God, don't let anyone hit the ball to me, which, of course, I felt in Little League and many years after. And, of course, what happened? The next batter hits the ball to him. He misses it and rolls to the fence. But these are the memories. Only baseball really, I think, taps that as the game of generations. Grandfather, father, and his son as well trooping to the ballpark, as tonight shows. But whatever the field, baseball with the Ted Williams, film, music, cooking, Emeril Lagasse, the world's most famous chef, offers his recipe in this book.
It's wonderful.
1-2 pitch. He strikes out Tino Martinez. One down. As again, Anderson tries to pull the Houdini act. One away. The bases loaded in the 6th.
What a time to get his first strikeout.
Yeah.
Indeed. And now, as Bob Prince would say, it's time for the Hoover.
The Hoover, yep.
I was in, incidentally, the bar, the Gunners tonight, having a cup of coffee.
Oh, right,
of course.
yes.
No, wait a
And,
minute. You
what?
can't drink coffee in the Gunners.
Oh, they didn't tell me that. Oh.
But, yeah.
I don't think,
That's
yeah,
right.
I don't think
It's
coffee is
against the
served at
Gunners'
Gunners,
memory.
Yeah.
But what a marvelous testament to one of the truly great all-time voices of the game.
Absolutely.
Eli Marrero. Jimmy Anderson get that ground ball. Strike one.
So Emeril Lagasse is fascinating. One of the great things about this book is that you get an insight into the kind of people that you know from a distance, and you always hope in meeting them that they're the kind of people that you would expect. Lagasse is a middle-class kid, son of Portuguese immigrants from Fall River, Massachusetts.
0-1 on Eli Marrero. Bases loaded. 2-1 Cardinals. They're looking for the big hit. Anderson looking for the ground ball.
And for those among our listeners, and it's such a vast following, that follow Emeril Lagasse in one of his many shows, they will know that he will attack a pork chop or a slice of bread and say, bam. Emeril Lagasse told me what that means. It means his signifying Carl Yastrzemski went deep.
Wow.
There you have it. That's wonderful.
1-1. Oh, there's a drive toward the gap in right center field. And this will bring home at least 2. They're going to try and clear the bases. The throw to the plate will not get Renteria. Eli Marrero, a 3-run double.
And that was in the gap from the time it left the bat. That was going to be at least 2 and probably 3 with the chase being on by Rob Makoviak in right field. And that really opens things up for the Cardinals and really could put Jimmy Anderson on thin ice, if not with one step through the ice.
Yeah. The great thing about this ballpark is that baseball is a game of anticipation, and so many things can happen. You can punch one to right field 320 feet, a home run. You can hit one into the yawning alley, center field 399. It is a very fair park.
It has proven to be that way.
There is going to be a double switch. Lloyd McClendon goes to home plate umpire Tim Timmons. That will be it for Jimmy Anderson. He will leave trailing 5-1. New pitcher coming on here at PNC Park. Mike Benjamin takes over at second base. He'll hit in the 9th spot of the order. Joe Beimel takes over. He'll hit officially in the 8 hole as Pokey Reese exits. He made the last out. Now Joe Beimel against Woody Williams. And there goes the runner for third, and he will make it without a throw. Eli Marrero has a stolen base, his 7th. He's not been caught.
You know what's interesting about Marrero? He's a catcher. They shouldn't be able to steal, right? That's his career 39th stolen base. He's only been caught 7 times. That's a contradiction. It is the running Redbirds.
You're saying every catcher should be like a 78 RPM record being played at 33.
Exactly. There should be hidden meanings you could find.
Infield
the dirty lyrics if you play it backwards on this stuff.
And that's line right at Jack Wilson.
Wee Willie Keeler hit him where they ain't.
Yeah.
But he hit him where they was.
There's a Fernando Vina. Joe Beimel's numbers on the year. We're talking to Kurt Smith.
You know, this classic best look of the Pirates, one of many great things that have happened in the last couple of years, and of course the retro look evoking so many great years. I think of Grote and Mazeroski in that classic 60 series. Fascinating what baseball means to me in terms of how many people write about where they were on October 13th, 1960, when Maz parked one over left center.
Yep. That'll be a classic moment in baseball till the end of time.
Brooks Robinson was on his honeymoon. And in fact, he was motoring with his wife in the western part of the country, listening to the game on radio. This is 3 days after they were married, and he insisted that they go to the top of the mountain because only there
He's trying to fun his way on.
could the reception allow him to hear the game. And as he said, Mrs. Robinson said, "I knew I'd married you. Then I found out I'd married baseball as well."
Yes.
But the Maz shot is a common denominator. If you're a member of the baby boom generation, you know exactly where you were.
1-1 on Vina. Rounds this one to the new second baseman Benjamin, and on to first. Eli Marrero had the big 3-run double to give the Cardinals a 5-1 lead heading to the bottom of the 6th inning. Now to the bottom of the 6th inning. And the Pirates down 5-1. Coors Light, what's on tap for the Pirates tomorrow? It's the finale of this series against the Cardinals. Jason Simon-Tachi against Josh Fogg, the pitching matchup. Coverage begins 1:30 on WB22. And again, all youngsters will get a Kids Magic Baseball tomorrow, courtesy of Giant Eagle. SpongeBob SquarePants will be out on Federal Street starting at 11 a.m. Mike Benjamin hitting 174. Ball and a strike. Jimmy Henderson gives up 5 runs in 5 1/3 innings.
8 hits surrendered. He walked a couple, struck out 1.
1 ball, 1 strike to count on Benjamin. Takes the big breaking ball. I want to thank again Kurt Smith, who was with us to talk about the new book that he has compiled in cooperation with the Baseball Hall of Fame, What Baseball Means to Me.
You know, I would assume that some authors aren't comfortable talking with media or talk shows or making tours. He is so enjoyable. It's kind of a treat talking to him. He's a real baseball fan, and when you talk to somebody who has written a book about how he went about writing the book, not just the book itself, it's some great stories, and he's a very easy guy to talk to. Very, very comfortable. Enjoy sitting down and having him join us.
He wrote Voices of the Game a handful of years ago. Kurt Smith, and recognized nationally for his work. Mike Benjamin, a fly ball to center. Jim Edmonds coasting back. Makes the catch. Brings up Chad Hermanson. Well, Tuesday night, the Pirates hosting Sammy Sosa and the Chicago Cubs. It's Chris Benson on the hill against Matt Clement. It's also Giant Eagle Advantage Card night. Pirates and Cubbies, 7:05 start. Show your Giant Eagle Advantage Card at the PNC Park box office. Receive $4 off the price of a reserve ticket based on availability. It's Tuesday night, Giant Eagle Advantage Card night. Monday, it'll be Dave Williams against Mark Pryor, who made his major league debut at Wrigley Field. Much anticipated big league debut of Mark Pryor. He'll pitch again on Monday night. As we said, Tuesday's matchup, Chris Benson against the Butlers' Matt Clement. Wednesday night, Kip Wells goes after his 8th win of the season. He'll be opposed by former Bucco John Lieber. And then Thursday afternoon, a business person special. Kerry Wood on the mound for the Cubs Thursday afternoon against Jimmy Anderson. 1-2 on Chad Hermanson.
Yeah, so that'll be in conjunction with rush hour, because Kerry will rush it to home plate with the best of them.
Woody Williams has retired 8 in a row. It's going to be 9 in a row. 2 fly ball outs.
It still is within reach for the Pirates, but it just seems like a bigger lead because of the way Williams is pitching. He got in that groove, and really just 2 base runners since the home run by Hermanson, and after the walk to Chad in the 3rd inning, he has retired everybody. So we saw that roll coming, and boy, he is just he's riding it hard right now. He's pitching extremely well. So Tony La Russa's philosophy, perhaps on a given night, it can change, but Matheny more known for his defense, Marrero more known for his offense. I don't know if that's the reasoning behind the lineup card that Tony presented tonight. It was a good decision. Marrero has provided the big hit of the ball game after the 2-run home run in the first.
Chad Hermanson walked on 4 pitches in the 3rd inning. Woody Williams has fallen behind Jack Wilson 3-0 here in the 6th. Cardinals up 5-1. Three and one on Jack Wilson. He walked him. A 2-out base runner. We invite you to join Brent Stover right after the game. It's Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. Steelers Troy Edwards wanting some attention from the media. Pittsburgh Sports Tonight going to give that to him. Chad Hermanson trying to stick in the majors this time around. They're going to see what he's thinking. And high school baseball playoffs continue. All the coverage you need to know coming up tonight on Pittsburgh Sports Tonight, right after the game.
Woody Williams working in the 6th inning. Went 6 the last 2 times out. But, currently cruising. Good at bats for Brian Giles, but he's come up empty.
It's 0-2. Giles coming in riding a 6-game hitting streak. Pulled foul, out of play. Whoa. And we have an email we'd like to show you. Todd Graham of Lawrenceville, Georgia. Thanks for having your broadcast aired on the Armed Forces Network. We are watching from Kuwait. Well, that...
Boy, thank you.
Yeah. Don't thank us, Todd, and to the rest of you. We talked about that often. My goodness. Great that you're able to watch the game. And thank you so much. A lot to really be thankful for in this Memorial Day weekend. There's a drive to right field, and Brian Giles continues his hot hitting with a 2-run homer. That's his 11th of the season. And the Bucs are back to within 2.
So Woody Williams gets burned the same way that Jimmy Anderson got burned in the 1st inning. A walk after 2 outs opens the door for Brian Giles, and Brian, who is just having all kind of good at-bats, adds another one here and gets the Pirates back in the Wago. Fastball upstairs, and Woody Williams' fastball is fine, but he's not going to throw it by you on a regular basis up in that neighborhood, and Brian makes him pay.
Brian Giles, who came off that phenomenal series against the Cubs, the 4-game series, has homered now in 3 of his last 4 games. He's hit 6 homers in his last 44 plate appearances. Again, that gives him 11 on the campaign. And you see a different angle at this home run over the Clemente wall in right.
You know, there's a little evidence of the attractive short porch in right field. He didn't get all of it, but he got enough.
Ramirez, shallow center, but Edmonds will track it down. That home run was key for the Pirates against Woody Williams. Brian Giles is smoking. The Bucs back to within 2. Pirates baseball coming your way exclusively on Fox Sports Net. Pirates now within a couple. 5-3 game here at PNC Park. Middle game of the series. Bucs winning last night 5-2. Trailing at 5-3. Look at that shot. Get a different look every time out at this ballpark. Cito Polanco takes ball one from Joe Beimel. Now critical that the Pirates bullpen hold the Cardinals right where they are. To left, there's Giles. It's the Best Damn Sports Show, period, with hosts Chris Rose, Tom Arnold, and a bunch of ex-jocks. The only show that gives you sports comedy, commentary, scores, and highlights. Kick back, relax, enjoy the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Weeknights at 8 and 11, only on Fox Sports Net. J.D. Drew showing bunt. Ball one. Drew has walked, popped up, and grounded out.
Both bullpens quiet at this point. That won't last long as we head down the home stretch here. Playing in the 7th inning. There's some mixing and matching. Managers looking for the matchups they want. Pretty much the case in any 2-run ball game the last 3 innings.
Fouled off. You wonder, we did last night, whether Mike Matthews being used 2 innings would impact tonight's game, and we will find out maybe as the ball game goes along, because I figure Giles going to get at least one more at bat as Joe Beimel strikes out J.D. Drew. Beimel has retired the first 4 he's faced. Now Albert Pujols.
Second out in the 7th inning. Awkward swing at the sweeping breaking ball.
Strike one.
I think every left-hander in baseball goes to the sweeping breaking ball store in February. Every
Purchases
year.
one of those?
Yep. Or updates the one he had.
So effective against those left-hand hitters. 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
They're a lot more comfortable seeing that ball come from the other angle, from the right-hander.
Rolled to short, Jack Wilson, and on to first base. Oh, Joe Beimel has given Lloyd McClendon exactly what he has needed here, retiring the first 5, and now it's Makoviak, Kendall, and Young for Pittsburgh.
Well, I don't know if you can call it a harvest moon in May, but full moon. Pretty evening in Pittsburgh. I'm being followed by a moon shadow. Cat Stevens.
Yes, sirree.
Yep.
Moon shadow,
Leaping and hopping.
down a moon shadow. Giant Eagle home run hitters contestant, John Nashevsky of Carrick. Rob Makoviak has struck out twice.
And the Pirates have found the home run ball off Woody Williams against Lashide, hoping the folks can enjoy another one.
Oh, nailed Makoviak. So he's aboard.
Painful way to bring the tying run to the plate. Up and in and off the shoulder, hopefully. Well, you got a piece of the helmet, but I think, shoulder first. Yeah. Okay. That's still not much fun, but better than getting up around that helmet. Well, the activity in both bullpens, as we predicted, revving up. Number 36 would be Gene Steckschulte, one of the 6 right-handers available for Tony La Russa. 1 lefty, 6 righties out in the pen.
Kendall has flied out to right center. Looked like a ball that was going to reach the gap. He's also grounded to second. 7 hits in 18 career at-bats against Woody Williams. Good numbers for Kendall against this right-hander. The 35-year-old from Houston, Texas. With a 5-3 lead. Bucks batting in the 7th.
Maybe we can turn the table on the Cardinals, who have been the comeback kids. They've come back and I believe won 18 games when they were trailing at a particular point in the ball game.
Here comes Tony La Russa. That step off might have been just La Russa giving his bullpen some time. 26,201. That's exactly what La Russa did to buy his bullpen just an extra couple of pitches. He had Woody Williams step off, and he is going to the pen. Pirates trying to mount a comeback. Gene Steck-Schulte comes on.
It is Gene Steck-Schulte, the second pitcher of the evening for the Cardinals, his 18th appearance. He was called back to the big leagues the latter part of April. He is one of these guys on this pitching staff that has a long name and requires a lot of stitch wear on the back of the uniform to get that all there. Steck-Schulte, Simon Tachi, Stevenson, Isringhausen. Reminds me of a Cardinal farmhand when I was in the minor leagues coming up through. They had a little pitcher who was only about 5'6". His name was Larry Backenhaster. And they put his name on the uniform, and you couldn't tell where it started and where it ended. It just looked like a Ferris wheel. Larry Backenhaster. I didn't know his real name. I thought it Hassenbacher, or didn't know where it started. But Gene Steck-Schulte on to face Jason Kendall.
What a job the Cardinals relievers have done. They lead the National League with a 2.65 earned run average.
Remember when we had that distinction? Not so long ago. Woody Williams departs after 6+ innings.
Kendall now against Steck-Schulte, the right-hander from Lima, Ohio, the 28-year-old. He takes strike one, does Jason Kendall.
Steck-Schulte has given up a couple home runs in his first 17 appearances. Nothing alarming with that number.
Makoviak on. Grounded to third. 5, 4, 3, double play.
Well, that's what you want your reliever to do when he comes in out of the bullpen.
That closes the book on Woody Williams. 3 runs allowed in 6+ innings.
And only, what, 3 hits?
Couple of walks, 6 Ks, a pair of homers. Kevin Young has grounded out and struck out. Hit foul. It's 1 ball, 1 strike on Young. That's grounded weakly to third. That's Steck-Schulte. Comes on, gets the double play ball. And the bouncer to Polanco to end any threat there. We go to the 8th. 5-3 Redbird. Pirates baseball coming your way only on Fox Sports Net. From PNC Park, game 2 of the series. Tomorrow afternoon, 1:30 on WB22. Remind you, it is Josh Fogg on the hill against Jason Simon Tachi. And the more you see Kip Wells and Josh Fogg, you just can't believe the deal. Look at, and again, Jimmy Anderson is not going to get a win tonight. The two, Fogg and Wells, have combined to go 12-4. The rest of the starters, 8-17. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jim Edmonds. So Josh Fogg goes tomorrow looking for his 6th win. He's 5-2. 2.75 ERA. Kids Magic Baseballs given away to all youngsters. Compliments of Giant Eagle. All kids 12 and under get one. Cardinals started the day 2 back of the Reds in the Central. Cincinnati is leading Atlanta 6-4. They're in the 8th. Aaron Boone and Adam Dunn have homered. Dunn now with 10 dingers in his rookie season.
He was impressive as a first-year player last year with the Reds when they bought him up, and he is just in the process of not looking back. He's really taken off. He's a very, very good-looking young player with a whole bunch of power. We're going to the 9th inning now in Atlanta.
Fly ball to right. Jacoby. One out. Well, regardless really of the outcome, win or lose, this is good to see Joe Beimel, the left-hander, have great success so far as he has retired the first 6 men he's faced. Brings up Edgar Renteria.
What you want is a chance late in the ball game. Joe Beimel doing everything he can to give the Pirates that chance. Six up, 6 down for Joe.
Takes the ball 2-1. Three balls and a strike on Renteria. I guess Adam Dunn wouldn't be a rookie. He came up in July last year. Austin Kearns is the other young player, and that's a bunt single. And that's the other thing that I'm sure Jim Leland has told Tony La Russa. Tell your players you can bunt on Ramirez and the Pirates, and Renteria a bunt single.
Well, if you got a good bunter, it's the perfect surface because you can make sure you make decent contact with the bunt, and it will die in this slow carpet.
Now Tino Martinez 0 for 3. Cardinals got a 2-run homer from Albert Pujols in the first inning. Chad Hermanson led off the bottom of the first with a home run. Hermanson coming in. 2 down. And now the Cardinal with the big hit of this ball game. The bases loaded and 1 out. Eli Marrero doubled into right center field, scoring Albert Pujols, Jim Edmonds, and Edgar Renteria. That finished Jimmy Anderson.
And then to add insult to injury, went ahead and stole third base. I'm sure another item on Jim Leland's scouting report. The Pirates worked with first baseman Kevin Young when there's a left-hander on the mound. So Dave McKay monitoring that situation with Renteria returning to first. McKay, the first base coach. Boy, we see a lot of him when Mark McGwire was going for the all-time record that stood at that particular time. Every time you looked up, you saw Big Mac running around in a big high-five handshake from Dave McKay. And he was his personal batting practice pitcher, too. David.
Runner goes. Kendall's throw will be late. A stolen base. And the Redbirds are running tonight.
You wonder if it's just a matter of guessing right, or maybe, hey, maybe Jim Leland has spotted something in this particular configuration with lefties pitching and KY off first base that would indicate that they can get a jump. And I'm not suggesting that's the case. I'm suggesting that is a possibility.
Well, something is up when you consider the Cardinals coming into this game had stolen with only 3 more bases than the Pirates all year. 32 to be exact.
That's
And
5 tonight.
Ball and a strike on Marrero. One and two. Marrero at the age of 24, a rookie catcher for the Cardinals. Back in March of 1998, was told he had thyroid cancer. 38 days after surgery to remove this thyroid gland, Marrero homered and tripled in a game against the Giants. But he was slowed much of that 98 season.
Remember McGuire's quote? He said, "Why are you guys talking to me? We've got a hero on this ball club. It's number 26, Eli Marrero."
Marrero last year had a career high 266 batting average. Hit 6 homers, drove in 23. Native of Havana, Cuba. 2 and 2. Did he hold his swing? The first base umpire, Steve Ripley, said he did. Three and two on Marrero. It's this one to left field. Eli Marrero will bring home yet another run with a double to left.
I don't want to say that's a killer, but boy, is that really add a nail or two to the whole situation for the Pirates. Adding on at this point in the ball game is so huge, not only for what it does for your club, but the difficulty it represents for a team trying to chase it, as the Pirates are trying to chase the Cardinals.
Renteria scores. The double by Marrero, a 4 RBI game last year. Eli Marrero had a season high 3 RBI afternoon against the Pirates, July the 21st. He has driven in 4 runs tonight. Miguel Cairo will pinch hit for Steck Schulte. Mike Timlin will be the new pitcher. The Pirates bat in the bottom of this inning. He'll potentially walk Cairo to face Fernando Vina. Vina, 362 hitter with runners in scoring position, will come to the plate. The Cardinals leading 6-3.
And Timlin out there loosening up is another one of those Cardinals that you mentioned, a part of an outstanding bullpen. He has an ERA under 3. Spin Williams wants to talk to Joe Beimel and Jason Kendall. Fetters, number 39. Mike last appeared in a ball game in Chicago. Timmons says, let's get back to business. Pirates and Cardinals will do just that with Vigna up at the plate with 2 on 2 out. And the Cardinals stretching it out a little bit here in the top of the 8th inning.
Cardinals about hit the Pirates 10-3 lead by 3 runs. Pickoff try off the glove of the shortstop Jack Wilson. This will move the runners up 90 feet. That's an error on Wilson. 8th miscue of the season for Jack Wilson.
They were not going to get Marrero, but that ball chest high, just off the tip of the glove, and everybody moves up.
Vigna 1 for 4 against Jimmy Anderson. Anderson would fall to 4 and 6 unless the Pirates come back, and as we said at the outset, his numbers not good here at PNC Park. He'd fall to 1 and 5 here at PNC Park with an ERA over 7. Ground ball to first. Kevin Young will keep it for the 3rd out. Eli Marrero enjoying a 4 RBI game. The Cardinals backstop gives the Redbirds a 6-3 lead. A 6-3 Cardinals lead. Bottom of the 8th inning, Mike Timlin, the veteran right-hander.
So Steck Schulte, who preceded Timlin, really got it done after Rob Makoviak reached base. He shut it down in a hurry with a double play and a ground out. And now Mike Timlin. Not sure how Tony La Russa would play it. His club is leading by 3. If it stays this way, it would be a save situation for Isringhausen, and most managers know that that's how the closers make their living, by racking up saves. So a strong consideration to see Jason Isringhausen and allow him to perhaps add to his save total, which right now stands at 12. But first things first.
Safe Auto Insurance, safe at home. Total donated to Mothers Against Drunk Driving so far this season is $840. Abraham Nunez will pinch hit for Joe Beimel. Nunez, Benjamin, and Hermanson here in the 8th inning against Mike Timlin. Things got so bad for Tony La Russa earlier this season that on April the 19th, he turned to Mike Timlin to make a start. It's Timlin's first start in 11 years, just the 4th of his career. This is a guy who has appeared in 612 games, all but 4 of them as a reliever.
And when a reliever starts, the only time you see a guy that is a career reliever start is when he's in such a funk that a manager sometimes, hey, we're going to run you out there at the beginning of the game. It might be a different feel, different look for you. Not very often. Not the case of Mike. Tony was that strapped. It happens with closers on occasion when they get into a streak where they're not getting the job done, or out of sync, out of rhythm. So the manager started. Danny Murtaugh started Dave Justy in a game. He was one of the better closers in the league at that particular time. But David had a background of starting before he came to the Pirates, so it wasn't all that unusual.
Timlin, the closer in Toronto and Baltimore at one time. Count of 1 and 2. Years old from Midland, Texas.
Like he's sporting one of those camouflage t-shirts.
2 and 2. Fouled off by Abraham Nunez. Batting for Joe Beimel. Nunez has returned. Came back up when Armando Rios was placed on the disabled list. Nunez fouls that one out of play.
I had a chance to visit with Matt Morris. I really enjoy watching Matt Morris work, and I have a lot of respect for him. He came back from some arm problems and got in a conversation about curveballs, and said, my curveball's breaking too much. You don't hear that all that often from a pitcher, that the breaking ball is breaking too much. He says, I got to tighten it up, shorten it up, make it a little sharper. And quite a success story for the Cardinals. Was off to a phenomenal start. He's cooled off a little bit, but still 6 wins and an ERA of about 3.5 for Matt Morris.
Bothered by that flu bug that swept through the clubhouse, and there was some questions whether he would make his last start the other day against the Astros. Pirates kind of fortunate that they will miss him this weekend, but I bet you they get him in St. Louis.
Yeah, he's scheduled to start Tuesday against Houston.
Grounded on the 2-2 pitch, and finally Timlin will get Nunez.
Tuesday would go to Sunday, if you're honest. 5-man rotation. There's Jason Isringhausen.
Adrian Brown will pinch hit for Mike Benjamin. Adrian Brown's average is .213 with a homer and 11 runs batted in. He's 2 for 7 as a pinch hitter.
You know, we were speculating before the game last night with the Cardinals playing so well, and they've been on that roll. They had won 5 in a row. The Pirates are not the kind of team that's going to stand toe-to-toe and outslug them. You're going to have to simply outpitch them, and it all starts with your starter. Wells got the job done last night. He did a great job. And actually, Jimmy Anderson pitched well up until the 6th inning, you know, holding the fort after that 2-run home run in the first, but just couldn't sustain it long enough, and the Cardinals finally broke through. But it's almost a situation where you have to have pitching to kind of run the whole 9 innings, run the table, that aspect of your game, because it is going to be tough to outscore a good hitting team like the Cardinals. Not that it can't be done, but the percentages are better when you outpitch them.
Stays 0-2 on Adrian Brown. I'm sure Jimmy Anderson is as frustrated as the Pirates are with the inconsistent starts and all high and away. As Finn Williams put it best, pitching coach several days ago, and talking about Jimmy Anderson, about how he can frustrate the heck out of you.
Yeah, but he also can run out a game like he did against the Chicago Cubs, where he flat out shut him down in a hitter's ballpark.
Fly ball to center. Drew is going to make the catch, and therein lies the predicament for the Pirates regarding Jimmy Anderson, because he's liable to command a lot of money in arbitration following the year. The Pirates are going to have to make a decision sometime at some point this summer, and that is going to be up to the general manager. There he is, Dave Littlefield. How about that guy behind Dave Littlefield there, Steve? Anthony Dennis.
Yep, Anthony.
He stays away from the attention, but
Anthony's a talented young man.
yes, he is.
And he
What a
started
good guy.
down on the one of the lower rungs on the Pirates organization. I think part-timer. He's an hourly employee, and he's a sharp young man. He's like a player that's easy to root for.
Yep.
Anthony Dennis is an easy guy to root for, and you're probably going to hear his name. As I predict, he'll move up through the circles of some organization. I hope it's the Pirates.
Bounced foul outside of third by Chad Hermanson. Anthony Dennis standing there behind Dave Littlefield. General manager's box. On a strike on Chad Hermanson. too.
I did. I left a message on John Mercurio's voicemail when I think the job was posted that Anthony took. And, his name was up there, and I got the recording. And said to her, Merck, this is Steve. Sign Anthony Davis, or Anthony Dennis.
There's Merck, the coordinator of baseball operations, who was on the radio side with us for a couple years, and it was John Mercurio who recommended Anthony Dennis join the baseball operations end.
Had a good bit to do with that.
2-2 the count on Chad Hermanson, who has homered, walked, and flied out. Pirates trailing by 3. Hit hard, but foul. 2 outs. And Hermanson get on, and then Wilson get on. Set the table for Giles.
Did we wish Paul Meyer a happy birthday yet?
Don't believe we have.
Paul Meyer, who doesn't follow the Pirates exclusively this year, but up until this year had done that on a real regular basis. Bob Dvorak doing most of the reporting these days, the beat writer for Post-Gazette. Paul Meyer has been around this ball club a lot of years and remains a good friend.
So you want to say happy birthday to him?
No.
Okay. 3-2 now on Hermanson. With 2 outs, nobody on in the 8th. Facing Mike Timlin.
Doing birthdays, spotlighting people in the organization, talking about tomorrow's pitchers. That's not what you want to hear from the Pirate broadcasters.
Whoa.
In the 8th inning.
3-2, but we can focus in again on Hermanson, who has walked for the 10th time in this ball game. 10 times in his 13th start. Point that out because 10 walks for Hermanson, that is more than Pokey Reese, Jack Wilson, and that's just to give credit to Hermanson. Popped down out of play. That's what Lloyd McClendon was talking about before the game. That there's Paul Meyer.
Yep. Yep. If they do a remake of
Hey, look at he's shaking his head going, those guys. I didn't want it.
the Ernest Hemingway story, well,
Yep.
there's your lead.
Hermanson drives one to left field. Going back is Pujols, and he makes the catch at the base of the wall. So the Pirates go down in order. 8 innings played here at PNC Park, and the Cardinals lead it 6-3.
You buy Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people. And by your local Jeep dealers. Jeep, there's only one.
Back at PNC Park. Now the Pirates are trailing St. Louis 6-3. Mike Fetter's on. Abraham Nunez stays in the game to play second base. Polanco leads off. He has tripled, walked in 4 plate appearances.
A run given up by Joe Beimel in 2 2/3 innings.
Movement there from Mike Fetters. 0-2 the count on Polanco. J.D. Drew and Albert Pujols follow.
Cincinnati has posted their win.
Jimmy Haynes beat Jason Marquis. Danny Graves' 16th save for the Reds. The Cardinals would remain 2 back. The Pirates would drop to 6.5 off the pace. Slow bounding ball. Jack Wilson quickly unloads, throws out Polanco. Chicago leading Houston 2-0. Kerry Wood pitching a 2-hit shutout at Astros Field in the 6th. Now J.D. Drew. He's walked, grounded out twice, and struck out. One ball, one strike.
Mike Fetters, a man of routines. We've talked about the obvious ones, but a little kick out with the front foot. Also when he gets in his set position. There's a little thank you, ma'am. Reach out as the late swing produces a base hit up the middle.
I'm Brett Stover. Coming up tonight after the game, the Steelers' Troy Edwards seeks media attention. We're happy to give him some. Chad Hermanson is trying to stick in the majors. A story on his progress, plus AAA high school baseball playoff highlights. All that and more coming up after the game on Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. Now back to Greg and Steve.
Okay, Brent, thank you. As Fetters looks to keep Drew close. Drew has stolen a base. 5 steals tonight for St. Louis. Redbird scored 2 in the first on a Pujols homer. Albert Pujols at the plate. And 2 hits tonight. St. Louis scoring 3 in the 6th on the bases loaded double by Eli Marrero, and Marrero doubled in the 8th to bring home a run. There's Eli Marrero. Number 8 man in the order drives in 4 runs. That's trouble. Strike is called. Two ball and a strike. And someone yelling, check it, check and see if he might have gone. No, says Steve Ripley.
Pujols perhaps not as torrid as he was all of last year, but still in a good position to take off. Hitting 290 now. That's a pretty good launching point. Get hot, get it up over 300.
Toward left.
Never had enough distance, but hooks into the stands. He got it going in the top of the first after the 2-out walk to J.D. Drew. The home run. Impressive distance down the left field line.
Talking about last year, Steve, Albert Pujols had one of the absolute best rookie seasons in baseball history with his 37 homers, 130 runs batted in. Wow. At 329.
That leaves no room for any other rookie.
Nope.
Was it unanimous?
It was a no doubter. That was an easy pick.
Yep.
Albert Pujols says rookie of the year.
Other years, Roy Oswalt with his 14 wins would have been an easy pick.
Yep. 2-2 pitch inside. Some of the great rookie years of all time. Well, former Cardinal, we've already talked about him. Mark McGwire, his rookie season of 1987, hit 49 home runs. Most dingers ever by a rookie. Dwight Gooden was 17-9 for the 84 Mets. Pujols down on strikes. Fetters gets him. Two down. And it brings up Jim Edmonds, who has a couple of hits in 4 at-bats tonight. Fred Lynn in 1975 with the Red Sox didn't have the gaudy numbers of Albert Pujols, but not only was he Rookie of the Year, he was MVP. 21 homers, drove in 105 for the 75 Bo Sox. Want to know on Edmonds. Ichiro had a pretty good rookie season last year.
Yes, he did.
Story somewhere in the past week about Ichiro. He had 53 infield singles last year. He'd on 53 hits.
Don't you think at some point they'd start playing a little shorter on him?
Man. Dave Veers joins Jason Isringhausen, and that might be just in case the Cardinals score another run and make it a non-save situation. And Veers is up. 3-1 on Edmonds. Dave Veers was the closer last year.
Heavy sinker ball.
Three and two.
Hey, Greg, I want to send along congratulations. I saw a little piece in the paper about this man, much deserved. Jack Pigeon, who is the retiring headmaster up at Kiski School in Salzburg, is going to be involved, or has been involved this evening, in the graduation of this year's senior group at Kiski. And boy, Jack Pigeon has been quite an educator.
Well, Petters comes back after falling behind Edmonds 3-1, gets the strikeout. Well, the Pirates need 3 to tie going to the bottom of the 9th. We're back 6-3. St. Louis leads it, and Izzy is on the hill for the Cardinals.
Jason Isringhausen looking for his 13th save, and he is riding the crest of a shutout streak involving 11 1/3 innings. His numbers overall, that 1.03 ERA. Last year, 34 saves with Oakland, along with 4 wins.
Isringhausen has had to battle through a couple of elbow surgeries in his career. One of the top prospects in the Mets organization. Steve mentioned that. And then signed on by the Oakland A's, became their closer.
Made the transition, was a starter his entire career.
Tony La Russa and the Cardinals sign a former Oakland A's closer. It worked with Dennis Eckersley, and it's working with Jason Isringhausen.
Timlin with a scoreless inning. He worked the bottom of the 8th. 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to remember the 3 Mets. They were like 3 amigos when they had the Phenoms back in the early 90s. Isringhausen, wasn't Wilson?
Paul Wilson.
Yep. And was Jones?
Bobby Jones might have been one of them.
They were highly touted, and it was going to be the core of the Mets starting rotation. Never worked out quite that way. But this guy has really gone through the ringer and has come out on top, as evidenced by those 34 saves last year.
4-year deal signed. Put the other way by Jack Wilson. 4-year deal worth about $30 million. The Cardinals bringing in the closer, Jason Isringhausen. He won 9 games as a rookie starter for the Mets in 1995.
We talked about coming all the way back from arm measure. He's 96 miles an hour on that fastball. You don't see that from a still damaged wing.
Pena on the first. And that will bring up Brian Giles.
Brian got the Pirates to within 2 with his home run, but Cardinals answer with 1 more, and they lead by 3. Pirates down to their last 2 outs.
Ball and a strike after the game. Pittsburgh Sports Tonight comes your way. One and 2 on Brian Giles.
Not real happy with that call.
Now tip the breaking pitch. Jason Isringhausen trying to save it. Looking for his 13th for Woody Williams. Broken bat. Fall into the glove of Renteria. 2 down. Eli Marrero, the Advanced Auto Parts Player of the Game. 4 huge runs batted in.
Working out of the number 8 spot. His production, you see many base hits a lot of times, but the RBIs, that's big time work down that part of the batting order.
Nice pick on the backhand by Polanco. That will do it. The Pirates go down in order, and they'll look to win the rubber match of the series with Josh Fogg tomorrow. Let's now head to the studio.